technical thing that we had no control over, so we went ahead and used that as our break. Thank you all for sticking with us, and we're going to start the second half of this game. But first, I would like to once again thank Cliff2446 for subscribing to the channel. Thank you so very much. If any of you out there do have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Prime subscription every month. You have to renew it every month, but we'd really appreciate it if you guys could hit us with that. That little bit helps us buy like snacks and drinks for D&D, and we really appreciate that. So thank you very much. Okay, I think that's enough shilling for right now. Let's go ahead and get ourselves back into the game. So, with the cavern you now stand in, moss-like grass beneath your feet, mushrooms and other algae growing upon the walls and ceiling above you. Are you all going back to the room with the beast that tried to reel you in and eat you? Or are you going to press forward?
Fuck it, let's go.
Alright, I'm good.
Alright, well, I'll be right behind Fionn.
Fionn, lead the way.
Yeah.
Well, such as it is.
Lead on, Fionn.
Good job,
Since this moss has grown thickly upon the floor, it has covered the tracks that you were once following. It has made them impossible to distinguish from the rest of the foliage around you. But the path is clear ahead. The tunnel continues to meander slowly down to the left, but it is still there. The ground is now smoothed out and is much easier to walk.
Don't worry about finding tracks to follow when we actually have a directional decision to make.
Okay. With Fionn at the front, one eye bringing up right behind her, you all begin to make your way towards wherever this path may lead you. Still,
Moving on, I still try and reach out to the foliage and see if I get anything along the way.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, please.
The fungalage. That is a 17.
17.
Math hard.
You don't get the same feeling that you had that where it was you could tell it was some kind of a response. But as you reach your consciousness out and try to feel something, you definitely feel the hum of life around you.
I like this little stone you got. Makes me feel all hippie.
Another
God, seems to look the same.
15 minutes of walking, thereabouts. And this pathway opens into a large open cavern that is better described as a grotto. Mushrooms 15 feet high with trunks like trees jut up from the ground. Various pools of crystal clear water dot the surface of this place. The mushrooms that were growing in abundance, the red caps with purple and white dots are everywhere in this room. The thick moss, that strange kind of yellowish green that seemed to be growing upon certain things, is growing upon every surface within this place. The entire place smells fresh, and you feel warmth. Where elsewhere, walking through this, it felt cold. Yes.
Are there any mushrooms with the markings of the other type?
Go and roll me a perception check, please. You do have disadvantage.
I'm geeking out over the whole Joel's birthday. It's just
And I'm telling everyone, look for mushrooms that look like this.
Oh, yes. That's a good idea. I will also look for those mushrooms.
That'd be a 14.
14.
Wait,
The giant mushrooms
That'd be a
appear to be
15.
different. Or 15. The giant mushrooms that you can see appear to be different than the other two varieties that you have seen in this place. You have also seen quite a few white caps growing in large colonies throughout this, but they appear to be regular mushrooms. You're not sure if they're going to change color and which type they're going to turn into. The sickly ochre colored mushrooms. You do not see any of them currently growing within this place.
All right.
Though with your 15, you do see there is movement.
All right. There's movement down there in the grotto.
What is it, boy? What are you seeing?
I would assume you all are still using the torch as a light source, correct?
I'm pointing.
I never actually sheathed my sword.
Okay.
I look down at the movement as well.
Oh, roll a perception check.
With advantage since he's pointing at it?
Nope.
Okay. That is a 5.
This scene before you is far too distracting for you to have noticed anything else moving about. The giant mushrooms seem to sway in some kind of invisible breeze. You can almost feel like this entire room is breathing.
I got an idea. Why don't you reach out with your mind?
That's a good idea. I go to the closest large mushroom and just kind of, hello, mushroom.
Go ahead and roll me an insight check, please.
Jared just falls down on the moss like a kid in snow.
That
You're
would be
rolling around on it.
Just like,
21.
21. As you move forward, how far away from the group are you going?
Not that far. If I can get no more further than 10 feet.
Further than 10 feet? So, are you trying to approach one of these larger mushrooms? So, they're about 50 to 60 feet into this room.
Oh.
And you have a small pathway that leads, kind of meanders down, and then hits the bottom floor of this where it opens up.
Well, come with me while I go.
All right. I'll back you up.
Okay.
I'll get up from
I'll picture her by the scruff of her neck.
But the moss felt nice.
That's nice. Time to go.
As you begin making your way down, you get a palpable sense of fear.
Do I feel like that's me?
No. It feels as if it's from an outside source.
Wait, guys, let's scoot back.
All right.
And then as we scoot back, does the sense grow less?
It's definitely further away, but it is still there, and it has not changed in its tone.
That's interesting. They're afraid of something. But
It might be us.
It might be, but I think it may not be.
Well, one way to find out.
I agree. Let's go in. Carefully.
I would like a perception check from each of you, please.
I'll hold cheer up so she can look better.
That's terrible.
Do I get it?
No, that's-
I have a cheer lantern.
I'd be better off not actively.
It's your turn.
It's like
18.
18,
16.
16, 18,
23.
23. With disadvantage, right?
Oh. Well, that'd be 11.
11,
10.
10. That's okay. As you guys begin moving through this place, the light, your pale light doesn't really extend very far, but the flickering light from the fire you hold the torch cast deep shadows that as the deeper you move in this place seem to dance around. There is definitely movement happening just beyond the light of your fire, but you cannot quite distinguish what it is.
Okay, so maybe we should go back up there and make camp.
No, we're good. Let's go.
Okay.
Well, try to communicate again with him.
Yeah, talk to the mushrooms.
But I like their beak.
Yes, yes.
Try
yes.
to emanate an emotion of friendliness.
Ah, yes. We come in peace.
Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Natural one.
The beauty of this place is so distracting that you find it hard to concentrate on anything. It's juxtaposed by that almost strange movement that seems to be moving away from you, just staying just out of your firelight. You still have that sense of fear, and if anything, it's only grown stronger, which is distracting you even more.
I'm sorry. I gotten a little mixed up in all of this. I'll try again in a little bit.
Alright, so should we...
Hold on. Connor, can we cover light to see if it glows?
Sure.
You douse the light.
Guess I'll go ahead and sheath the sword.
Does it glow?
I put me hands up.
After 2 minutes of your light dying, you begin to see pitch blackness around you. Then one pale blue dot, then another, and another. The giant mushrooms that loom over your head suddenly begin to give off a faint hum of orange. And before you know it, over the next minute, almost every living thing within this place begins to emit its own internal light.
Is the fear still there?
That fear has slowly begun to subside. And with it, and the bioluminescence of this place, now you're able to see even clearer. You can see that there are creatures like a mixture of walking sticks and daddy long legs that seem to be moving about the walls, slowly, lazily. You see other things that are moving about the moss beneath your feet that are slowly meandering. Almost like ants, but not quite.
The woodsman in me has got to study this.
Before you all can take another moment to look around, 3 figures, humanoid-like, come from around a little hillock within this place. Their strangely shaped heads covered in white dots, their pale yellow faces housing black eyes. Their body a mixture of greens and blues and purples, almost like the musculature of them is different colors and different varieties. Though all 3 of them appear to be of the same type of creature, they're all vastly different from each other. Some of them have those strange mushrooms that you've seen all about this place, growing from various portions of their bodies. Others seem to have mushrooms that you would recognize, the chicken of the forest growing upon them, almost like pieces of bark. As you watch, they slowly begin to grow closer. You see one stop, turn to the other, and it begins with its 3-fingered hands, begins to touch various parts of its body. And you realize, as it does so, you hear various clicks and thrums and drums. And the other creature then begins to communicate back with it in that same kind of strange way, almost using its body like it's a singular giant vocal cord. As it does so, one of them turns away from the other 2 and slowly begins to move forward. As it does, what are you all going to do?
I think that's the mushroom you're supposed to talk to, genius.
Don't provoke it.
I put my hands up.
I whisper, hello.
It continues to get closer and closer.
Maybe don't do like mushrooms.
Just looking on with interest.
Use the rock, not your mouth.
Oh, okay. Let me see if... I'm still not trying to figure this out. Hello?
Go to roll me an insight check, please.
Not very insightful.
It's that... It was that shock of seeing this place that you forget about the stone lazily spinning around your head, and you begin to speak to it like you would a normal person, but it gives you no response. As it gets within arm's reach of you, you all see a yellow mist erupt out of vents around its neck, billows over each of you. I need all of you to roll me a Constitution saving throw. With advantage for you.
Oh, do you
bastard.
That made all the difference.
No, you don't have disadvantage on that one, so. Saving throw
So,
doesn't happen until like 30.
You all can get a better idea of what this looks like. Try not to touch them too much, but you can go and pass that guy around.
Sometimes when we touch too much.
Yes.
Bad touch!
Just
Yeah.
a touch.
A
touch too much.
12.
16.
That's pretty
24.
23.
15.
17.
You all feel almost like a bit of phlegm suddenly fill the back of your throat. And your nose almost goes completely clogged, like your sinuses slamming shut. But as that happens, you all feel a tingle in your mind. And a moment later, you all hear, "Who are we?"
Are you asking us who we are?
Are you asking him? He kind of looks back. The bioluminescence does not reflect in its eyes. The pools of its eyes are the blackest, darkest thing you've ever seen in existence. And they reflect no light. As it turns them to you, you hear inside your mind, "We are we. Who are we?"
Wait.
We came from up top to figure out what's making people sick in the water.
This thing reaches up, and as your stone lazily drifts by, it almost like caresses it with one of its three-fingered hands, and watches it for a moment as it spins back around. It touching it kind of tumbles it off its axis as it continues to make its way around, and it looks at you, and those, for lack of a better term, those nostrils on the side of its neck, you hear them intake air. And as they do, it looks at you. "Friend Rollin,
Yes.
you return.
Yes.
We're hungry. So long."
Oh. You mean the root?
It takes a step forward, and it puts its clawed hand reaching out for you. Are you going to do anything? Or are you going to allow it to touch you?
I'm going to allow it to touch me.
It places its three-finger claw at the center of your chest, and as soon as it touches you, it backs off for a moment, then touches it again. And, "No, not friend. Smell of friend. You help me?"
Yes. Your friend was unable to come.
As this thing is speaking to you, you see a dozen of these things suddenly start appearing around various corners, like Scooby-Dooing their head out, looking at you guys. Some that are maybe 1.5 feet tall begin to waddle towards you and begin walking around your legs. You see one of them, a particularly friendly one, comes up to Cheer's leg and wraps its three-clawed fingers around her leg and just begins swaying back and forth.
Call that one Hannah.
He's clinging to chair.
Yep, it wants to fuck you.
And while this is happening, the one speaking to you is just kind of looking around at what's happening around you.
We're here to help, but we don't know how.
Hungry.
What will feed your hunger?
The root.
The root. The root.
Get my bag out.
You have some?
There's.
Yeah. Cheer have like a pound.
It's been long, friend.
Give him some.
Huh?
Oh, I take. She happened to have some on her.
You got a shoulder root?
Yeah.
As you pull it out, the one at your legs immediately starts.
Break off a piece.
It's odd. These things don't have mouths, but you see it begin to break up sections of it and into very, very small pieces. And as it does, it begins to sprinkle them around its neck. And you see those, what appears to be the same thing as a breathing apparatus, gills, something, begins to, like a fish's mouth, begin to grab at this stuff and pull it into its body.
That's fucking creepy.
He's cool.
What? It is.
You only had about a quarter pound of this stuff. So
Left hand.
as you hand it out, one of the larger ones comes up and grabs it and begins to tear off small pieces of it and hands it exclusively out to the little ones.
The roots, are they growing? They're tubers, right?
What?
The roots, those things, those
Yes.
plants.
The Shona root?
Aye.
The root that
What do you
Holland Roy.
The one that she has? No, the ones that she has are dried.
Uh,
Though they are not currently active.
Chew tried them.
But this thing is breaking pieces of this off and it is handing it out to all of these little ones. And the little ones are greedily taking it. He looks at you.
Have you been searching for more?
No more. It does not grow for we. Holland bring to we.
Yes.
And we clear the water.
Where did Holland bring to we?
Yes, where did he normally bring you these?
From where?
He just points in a direction and you have no idea what to really. He just points.
And we exit.
We will bring you more. We have to leave, but we will bring you more.
Can you-
when we come
No,
back.
no leave. Help we.
We will help. But
What do you need help with?
we know that they need the root.
Maybe not the only thing they need help with.
Holland. No why. Come. No food. But go down. Deep down. And leave. And now beast.
There's a beast keeping you from cleaning the water.
Afraid. It drive us to hunger, drive us mad. Many of us eat the other. We cannot survive. We die.
We won't let you die.
You show us where the beast is, we'll take care of it.
Yes.
You feel fear like you haven't felt before suddenly take your heart, like you saw the worst thing you've ever seen in your life. And that feeling just is oppressive. And these things begin to slowly back up. The one who's speaking to you puts its arms out. We show you path, but other we. He touches its head.
You can't go there.
We lose ourselves.
Okay.
It's alright, we'll take care of the beast. Then you clean the water and we'll bring you more shit root.
Sure.
Shortna.
That's why I said shit root.
Yes.
Why Holland betray us?
He didn't betray you. He is no more.
No. Holland here.
Here?
Yes. Holland. Many grows. But Holland here.
Can you show me, Holland?
Holland come and Holland go as Holland does, but not bring me food. Instead, must bring beast.
Does it look like us? You thought Holland was him until you touched him.
Did not touch Holland, but Holland smell like Holland.
Do we smell like Holland?
I think he
No.
He perceives the rock as a smell.
No. It's... And that smell again. No. It must be Holland. Only Holland know of this.
His mushroom giraffe.
Yeah, but he's not talking about you.
Giraffe's part of Holland.
Show it to him.
Spring out dead friend's finger.
They're different. They won't make
Not care.
Alright, well, we gotta go take care of this beast and then
So
go
you
find more.
pull out the finger. It takes the finger. Holland.
He smells like that.
Smells like Holland.
Is that Holland? Not here. Not here.
Most Holland. Some not Holland.
Most Holland, some not Holland.
And he does something, clicks, it like runs its fingers down its body, and you hear that strange clicking sound. And one of these little creatures comes up. Us, not us. Holland, most Holland, but not all Holland.
Offspring.
All in Rollick's family's coming down and bringing the beast.
Wait, he has a family?
Yes. His daughter married to
Jackass.
Sevens.
But hanging out with Jackass.
Oh,
Is long hair, long like Jill.
Alright. Show us the path to the beast.
Holland.
Show us.
You see a couple of these things now have begun to move among you all and have gotten these things don't have an idea of what personal space is. I mean, their eyes are getting like right here to where you're just like, oh my god. Some of these things are 7 to 8 feet tall, others are 3 or 4 feet tall.
Is other one like still on my foot?
Yes. While this is happening, one of these things looks at you very closely, then kind of waddles over in its strange way, pulls off the bulb of a mushroom, dips down, like bends down into, then dips that bulb into one of these water pools that's sitting around, stands up, then walks back over to you and extends it.
All right. With me cursory knowledge of living on the land, is it potable water?
Roll me a perception check.
Survival or perception?
Is it potable water?
I'll tell you what, I'll let you roll whichever one you want to roll.
Now I'm really tired, so I got
Yes,
this.
so you have disadvantage.
But if I do survival from a scout,
Then negate your disadvantage.
so that'd be a 18.
There are definitely things in this water, but the water looks crystal clear. But there are definitely things in this water.
I'll look at it and I'm like, thank you.
This thing does a motion for you to...
Can I drink it?
You drink it? Go to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
That would be a 9. Yeah, I've got a 0 for Constitution.
You heal 12 points of damage, and you lose a point of exhaustion.
Alright.
This water tastes very similar to the water that you've had within Brownwater, but it feels different. Simply drinking it's like you're drinking the nectar of life itself. You've never drank something or imbibed something that made you feel like this before. There's a sense of almost euphoria that washes over you for a few seconds and then slowly ebbs away.
Oh, fellas, we've got to save this place.
Right.
Those of you who are low on hit points or low on hit dice, these creatures will slowly make their way and begin to follow that same thing. The creature, as after you drink it starts doing that to you.
I don't have any Shona root. But I've got some smiley weed.
You pull out some smiley weed? Okay. You offer to it?
Yeah.
You just offer like a joint?
Yeah.
It takes a joint, and you realize that these things, as they've been touching you, they're not fingers, they're claws, and they look to almost be razor sharp. This thing takes this and begins to peel the paper away, and then takes it, crumples it up, and drops it on its neck.
I got to examine one
And
of the
then
pools.
turns to you and keeps doing that.
Eat the mushroom.
And he points to the mushroom. And we point here. And he'll take a bite out of the mushroom.
It tastes good. Me as a not fan of mushrooms, this would probably be the best tasting mushroom you've ever had in your life. There's almost a meat-like quality to it. It's like eating a giant portobello mushroom.
Oh. Weird. I think these guys are afraid of fire, but...
Who all was low on hit points?
I think everybody's is missing at least a few.
You heal 13 points.
I can make a wonderful sauce out
9
of
points.
And 4.
I was good.
Okay, and you were good too, correct? They still offer you one without the water. They just offer you a mushroom cap.
I eat the mushroom.
Thank you.
Well, after drinking that, I'm going to go examine.
And they will continue motioning like that until you eat it, or
I'll just take it and eat it.
you eat
I'm
it.
gonna
Yeah,
idly
it tastes good. I mean,
I
Or-
let you on a mushroom cap.
you were low on hit points, correct? No? Well, they offer you but you were low on hit dice, correct?
I'll use one.
Okay, so they will offer you a drink with the water as well.
What does it recover those as well?
We'll see.
And I'm going to idly chew on that and munch on that thing while examining one of these pools very closely.
Go to roll me a perception check.
Yeah, yoink. That is a 21.
There are things swimming in the water.
What kind of things?
Almost too small to see with the naked eye, but you can see them moving about.
Get a closer look.
As you pull it up and look at it, as you do that, a lot of these creatures suddenly begin to pull around you and just watch what you're doing. There are definitely things in the water.
So, let's go kill that beast so we can get the water clean again. Then we'll bring in its root.
Much care. Many of we are not us anymore, and will end you.
We can't trust stuff that looks like you after we go past a certain point.
I think that's kind of what he was saying. Yes.
Many man will can't speak anymore.
Alright. We'll put him out of their misery.
You're not sure how you can see it, but he definitely is saddened by that. But
Do you think that if we ended the beast, they would be no longer mad?
I fear the beast and you.
Well, that's entirely possible.
It speaks to us always. Only few have ventured close and come back, and they different.
Well, let's hope that we don't come back different either.
Come. It grabs you by the wrist and begins to pull you. And it takes you over to a section of the grotto. The deeper into this place, the more beautiful this place is. It's like you're walking through the Avatar exhibit. It is transcending. He gets to a spot within the grotto where you see 3 of these creatures that simply stand there. They make no motion towards you. They just kind of sway. It steals us, what we are, and leaves this.
Dreamers.
Yes. They do that. He does that to us too.
It seems even more saddened by that. Madness, or this, is what awaits below.
Well,
it's
wish us luck.
It's worth my life to try to stop it.
It looks at you, Holland friend. Trust me. Yes?
Yes.
It seems to almost grow 3 inches in height as it leans forward, and it places its 3 claws upon your head. And its eyes grow ever closer to yours as you begin to stare into the pits of these eyes. I would like you to roll me a wisdom saving.
Can you choose to fail?
Yeah, I'm like, well, let's see what the dice says. The dice says no. That's you know what? I want to fail that.
Well, what's the roll?
It's wisdom. Yeah, that's right. 20.
20? Okay. You see what can only be described as a slideshow of images that seems to flicker across your mind. You see a giant room with a cascading waterfall. You see growth along the rocks around it. You see people like this thing milling about, but they seem different. Their eyes aren't black. Their eyes reflect like mirrors, and they seem rabid. You see one tearing into another, ripping pieces of it off and just reveling in it. It flickers forward again, and you see a giant hole. Vines and thick ropes of vegetation hang down this hole. You flash again, and you see what appears to be a portal. Water flows through this portal, and impossibly, you see the water in this falling upward. And at the center of it, you see a tangled mass of vegetation, and you feel the hatred at its heart. As your faculties come back to you, you all will see his nose is pouring blood, but you are able to stay conscious despite the pain. And another one of these creatures approaches you with one of the mushrooms filled with water and hands it to you.
Yes, please.
Congratulations, you have a dwarf and mind melded.
One.
You are currently at 1 hit point, and you heal 10 hit points.
So I am at 11. So I'm close to half.
You are tired, though strangely invigorated. You feel more emotionally drained, but physically exhilarated, as this thing takes a few steps back and just seems to lean against the wall. As you see others begin to move around it, go and roll me an insight check.
9?
9?
No, 10.
10. They're definitely saddened, and you don't understand why, until you realize That creature is not moving.
Well, I think I just took someone's Katra with me. Okay.
So wait, is he dead?
I get the feeling he is. They all mourn him.
Well, what did he die for? He was touching you.
I know what we're going up against. What is it?
Alright, well tell us.
It's hard to tell.
Okay.
Well, you said you knew what it was.
Yes. We'll see it down there.
You have a very clear path in your mind of where you have to go.
Let me lead you guys there.
Well, how would you tell me and I'll take the lead?
Hey,
I'll do the
Hatterack
best
wants
I
go
can
in
to
front.
give him
Hatterack can go in front.
a direction, though I'm not sure if I do a very good job.
Now that you guys have had a chance to really begin to look around this place, it is honeycombed with tunnels leading out of it.
You know,
If left to your own devices, you could be down here for weeks trying to search each one. But Callus could point you unerringly. It's that one.
Hatterack let it mind fuck him to do it. Might as well let him lead.
But I want to protect him. If he dies, we're lost.
I can lead from behind, don't worry.
We'll protect him.
So,
You still heard?
you all
yeah.
gain the benefit of a short rest.
Yeah.
Each of you who imbibed the mushroom, which is all of you, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Regain 2 healing surges. Spellcasters regain up to 1 second level spell of your choice.
What
1
is
second
a healing
level spell
surge?
slot.
Well, it's a good thing that's all I
Is that
expended.
Is that to die?
Hit dice.
Hit dice. You regain your hit dice.
I only spent one. What is it? 2 level 3s and 1 level 1. So
Hold on, I can remeditate myself.
Well, level 1's better than none.
it's true.
Yeah.
It's the difference between you bleeding on the ground and you
Bleeding on the ground.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess we're headed down the creepy hole behind Caliph.
I will peel the little thing off of me.
When this thing finishes its Vulcan mind meld, every other one of these creatures then begins to crowd around it, and they all seem to hang their head. They offer you no other conversation. They simply ignore you as they mourn what was most likely their oldest leader.
Well, let's make sure the creepy mushroom thing didn't die in vain.
I agree. Though I think that was their best way of giving us their blessing. Or at least me.
Great, you're blessed by the cockroach. Let's go.
I would hope that you never had cockroach that bad.
Okay.
I'll give it a silent
Even on
prayer.
You know, with this pathway that you were leading them on,
It just looks
it
like
is
from your
not
crotch.
far. Excuse me. It is not far before you nearly fall into a separate chamber that leads to the waterfall. The waterfall itself flows upwards.
Oh, this seems like the place.
You know that this place where you stand now is the last safe place within these caverns, and the things that hunt here are dangerous.
Well, prepare yourselves. I don't know exactly how to fight plants and water and stuff like that, but do your best. Tally-ho.
So your marching order is you're up front.
I'll be scouting.
Oh, you
Are you
mentioned
staying 20 feet ahead again?
No, more like 10.
10 feet ahead? Okay.
And did you want to? You said you mentioned healing.
Aye. Wah. That is 14.
I'll clean out my gun and put a new.
Go to roll me a tinkerer's check.
I'll get it.
Okay, go to roll me a tinkerer's check.
Thank you.
I'm good. 18 on the dice.
Yep. He's able to clear it. Those ripfire rounds are sadly gone. You can go ahead and erase those. You can buy more later. Keep the card because you can always fill it in. But those rounds are spent. But it's easily replace the wheel so that way you can fill it up with the rest of your rounds. So Sadly, the fire rounds are gone, but you do have your weapon is usable now. Okay.
Why you keep breaking this damn thing?
Because she needs a better one.
Just throw chair cut it off that guy.
Ain't nothing wrong with it except you keep on breaking it.
Okay. As you all somberly make your way through this tunnel, like the grotto itself, it seems as if either the myconids or the water have smoothed out this passageway. It is easily traversed, and very quickly that lush vegetation is left behind you. And it's those bare patches of mushroom that seem to be the hardiest of the life down here that seems to grow from various places. But the moss, the algae, the whitecaps, all of those are now just a fond memory. And slowly, the freshness of the grotto, we didn't realize just how good it smelled, which is strange considering how fungus-filled it was. But now where you head, you can smell rot hanging in the air. And the further down this pathway you go, the more and more prominent that smell of rot becomes. Until the pathway opens before you. One eye. You stand in a room that is 30 to 40 feet long, and there is a drop-off. You can clearly hear water roaring from a waterfall, though you cannot see its source currently.
Alright, Cal, which way do we go?
Remembering.
Straight through here.
Just straight through.
Alright, I continue straight through. On guard.
As you walk up, go ahead and roll me a... Oh, and by the way, the bioluminescence is gone. What do you all use for light source? So retorch it and resort it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, please.
Let's hope this thing doesn't like light as much as everything
25.
25. You call a halt to everyone else. As you look around you, the firelight is reflecting off of the waterlogged cavern that you're now looking in. The walls are completely coated in moisture, reflecting the light from the sword and the torchlight. You can see in the room beyond, there are several of those mushroom people that are milling about. You also see what appears to be, in the middle of the water, a writhing mass of vegetation that seems to be moving.
That would be it.
From there you see water is splashing up on the ceiling, where you can, to your left, make out what looks to be a waterfall. If you all will go ahead and give me about 5 minutes, I'll show you exactly what you're looking at. We'll be right back, okay? we're back. Thank you all for bearing with me. Takes a little bit to get some of the bigger builds in here, and this is a bigger build. So let's go ahead and show them what you all see. So One Eye, at this point, you are standing here, and you can see before you. That is a 10-foot drop, and you can see about a 7-foot tall one of these creatures. We're going to go ahead and reveal that these are indeed the Myconids.
Point at the one that's
So,
7 foot tall.
This one here, these two you can see across the way. There's another one here that seems as if most of the mushroom-like protrusions on its body have fallen away, and it simply looks like it's almost like wiry muscle, but composed entirely of fungus. And you see that strange mass of vegetation just kind of roiling and moving right there as the waterfall is cascading up, hitting the ceiling, and landing, making a mist of this entire area.
So, trying to shoot arrows is really hard.
Depends on how far away you're trying to shoot.
Well, you said the waterfall is drenching these things.
It is quite a bit of waterfall. It is quite a bit of water that's coming into this room. Around the edges, it's simply heavy with thick mist. The areas with the water in it, that is quite a bit of a fall of water. So you may be able to fire, but anything beyond 10 feet away from you would have minor concealment against that.
Fionn,
It's hard to get a bead on anything.
plow the road for us. The water.
Fionn just
Can I
starts
see the
dry
big
humping the
floating
dirt.
plant thing?
He's the only one who's moved up right now.
Why?
I'm going. Do I see him
Bang,
stop?
bang.
Yeah,
What-
he's
what?
stopped and he's
What?
looked over. He's
I'm gonna
called you guys to
creep up next
stop,
to him.
and so you're gonna creep up next to him. Okay. At this point, you guys can sneak along, but that roar of water is loud. I mean, you can barely hear yourself think loud. As you move up, you can look in and you can see the scene before you. There are 3 definitely of these mushroom people, but there's another one that looks like it could be, but it looks like it's like falling apart almost. Like it doesn't have the mushroom-like growths out of its head or anything.
Yeah.
It looks spindly and wiry, and that mass of plant that is just kind of roiling and moving.
Creep back to where they're at.
I'll stand in
Well,
the
I
watch.
could do
All
that.
right.
All right.
Now I'll just move you back.
Did you describe the beast as being enveloped in a mist? I'm trying to figure out what he means, and unfortunately, I did miss the description.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just move the water out of the way so we get a clear shot.
No, he's asking about the beast you saw.
Is it enveloped?
It's that one there, right?
Well,
It does not appear to be now.
Oh, definitely.
This appears to be that first room that you saw that had these creatures moving about. You know this thing is deeper in, but you have to get down the reverse waterfall and deeper into this place.
Can you stop the waterfall? Help us go down? Because we have to get through that waterfall. You're not that good with the water.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't mean to insult you.
So are we doing this quiet or are we doing this loud?
Let's try and do it quiet. The less of these that we have to kill, the better, maybe? Or should we just put them out of their misery?
I mean,
They've gone mad.
I have a great and sorrowful regret for the death
By
of
the
the
way,
mushroom.
you guys are seeing your breath come out at this point. It is cold again.
Yes, but I'd hate to find out that after we take care of this, that they are able to regain their sanity.
I have a great and sorrowful regret for fucking let's kill them all.
Figures.
What, you asked me?
Yeah.
If you guys, just to have a conversation 5 feet away, you guys are having to really raise your voice to be heard.
Well, I guess it doesn't really matter anymore. We just won't tell them about how many of them we had to put down.
Yeah, because they can't read minds or anything.
You didn't get the feeling they were reading your mind.
Excellent.
Nor do they have a very good understanding of
It
things.
seemed like whatever it did, like, costed its life. Yeah, to simply impart a few images to him.
So, we doing this?
Okay.
Well, you guys have the lay of the land. They don't appear to notice you.
I'll move up to the edge and take a bead.
You're moving all the way up to the edge?
Keep
I'll go up
so
with
you
them.
So you all can cobble together a plan, as it were, if you all wish. You at least get your first plan of action going.
All right,
Focus fire.
we all take a shot at the mushrooms. We start working our way,
To the big thing.
and if you don't have a gun, do something.
Do they have a reflection to their eyes?
No, their eyes appear almost like they're glass.
Okay, so they're definitely gone mad.
So I don't get the capability to do those very often.
Did
So.
the
I
dreamers
wish
that
we
we
could
saw
do steam.
have a glassiness to their eyes?
I'm sorry?
Did the dreamers that we saw have a glassiness to their eyes?
No.
There's a way to do
Okay.
it.
So I'm trying to see if there's a similarity between these two.
There's a way to do it.
It's hard to equate what they were doing simply with the fact of these are not like you. Whatever it did to them, like you all, okay, for the daydreamers, you all know that they had some kind of aggressive or explosive emotional response, whether that be sadness, depression, anger, rage, bloodlust. Somebody always had that kind of emotion before they simply blanked out.
Yeah.
You don't know if some of
affect
these
them.
creatures blank out and some of them go insane. But from what you saw, definitely these things in here, if they sense you, they will attempt to kill you. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Nothing beyond the grotto that you just left is safe.
I say we open up on the little ones. Ulrich, you run up and punch the big one in its mossy dick.
And I doubt anything down below past the waterfall is going to hear us past that waterfall. Considering that we have to speak like this anyway, just to whisper.
Okay, so Jerry use lightning then.
Yes.
So,
Excellent.
we got a plan?
Yes.
Kill everything.
Attack little ones,
I
then
would
big
assist
one.
Ulrich with the big one.
Yeah, stab it in the mossy dick. Good idea. Yeah, and you're gonna do something useful, right?
Was that last cavern that we were in purple like this?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, the grotto, hard to tell because literally every surface had some kind of life growing out of it. So very hard to tell.
I guess
Everything else has been this purple.
everybody's moving up to the edge.
Yeah. I'll even take out my 3 gun.
Everybody's moving up to the edge, and the 3 shooters are gonna open up, and then the non-shooters are gonna dive in and do their thing.
So, Ulrich, now you all can see what's before you. You have a cluster of those bulbs that is growing in this corner here. You will have mushrooms that are growing here. Which way do you want to go? Ulrich, do you want to go here? There is a myconid. We'll go ahead and use their real names now so I don't have to keep calling them the creatures. But there is a myconid literally just down there.
Is it within arm's reach?
No, not arm's reach, but it's because you're about 10 feet up. It's 7 feet tall, but I mean, even if you got down, it'd be a hard, it'd be a hard swing in order to actually connect with
You
it.
could use it as a cushion when you jump down.
You could attempt that.
Flying death leap after we start shooting.
Dynamic entry kick.
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to come over to this side. Fionn,
Watch out, watch out, watch out!
and are you going to be using your arrows or no?
I don't know what distance looks like here, and there's so much mist.
Anything further than the myconid that is along the bottom is going to impose disadvantage on the attack.
Okay.
So at this point, anything further than 30 feet away is disadvantage on a ranged attack.
All right, then I'll draw me daggers.
Okay. Fionn? And we're going to have Dakin is just going to be back up. So Fionn.
Is there room enough for a storm cloud?
Oh yeah, this thing is, it is huge. This is a giant room. This room right here, it's the size of the grotto. This looks like it was probably another grotto that has slowly died.
Might want to save the big stuff for further down where the actual beast is. Might want to save the big stuff for further down.
She's got to.
Well, you are free to do as you will. So,
We'll
all right.
scoot up on the right side of the group, I guess. Got my bare feet make much noise on the stone.
well, even if you guys were kind of stomping your feet, it is definitely loud.
I'll move over next to Ulrich.
Next to Ulrich?
Just don't.
Can I find some stones? More stones, anyway.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
That was all of an 11.
The only ones that you see are right around the growth of those bulbs.
Of course they are.
Do you want to go pick one up?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. You sure?
I guess I'm gonna open the party up.
I've never been more.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do, guys. You guys are obviously going to have the surprise round. So each of you is going to get to act. I'm going to have you guys roll initiatives first. We'll still do your stuff in initiative order. You can hold it back for another person if you wish. But that's how we're going to do this. And then the next turn, we're going to be going. So let me grab all the stuff that I need, because I need a bunch.
Oh my. That's not a good sound.
It's blood and guts time.
Alrighty. Let me just go and get this ready real quick. And okay. Everybody roll initiative, please. Dakin will just take up the last spot of the player characters.
That seemed to work.
So 25 to 20.
No.
25 to 20. Alright. 15 to 20.
19.
19. Higher dex than you.
+3.
+3 and +3, right? No, +1.
+1.
Okay, so
+2.
bam. Alright, so that just makes, I know, understand you guys go simultaneous, but just to make my life easier, we do it this way.
It's perfect.
Yeah. There.
No. Gutter is
perfect.
just that little bit quicker.
And there. Okay.
That's what she said.
So any other 15 to 20?
No.
10 to 15?
Yes. 14.
14. One eye.
8.
8.
Glad you're not an assassin.
Fionn.
5.
Alrighty, I got my deck here. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's make this just a little more interesting. Alrighty. Starting with Gunner.
Okay.
Light up the mic lid closest to me.
Okay. It is kind of just standing there. It seems to be using its claws to just kind of push through the mushrooms in front of it. Just kind of looks like it's searching for something. You have advantage on the attack.
Okay. Crit.
So that's why.
So that is a 3 of hearts. 3 of hearts. That is the wrong page. 3 of hearts. Okay. He has disadvantage on his next attack.
Do I max the damage dice?
You max the damage.
14.
14.
Second shot.
Alrighty.
19 to hit.
19. I'm pretty sure is it. Let me double check. Yep, 19 is it.
And that's going to be 10 damage.
10 damage?
Yep. So 24 damage total.
24 damage total. Alrighty. Okay, it. Callus,
Yes.
what are you doing?
I'm going to take a shot at the closest one there
So the one that, same one that he, so you're all basically going after that one.
with my 3 gun.
Go ahead, take a shot.
Advantage, right?
You have advantage. 2 2s. Okay. Well, at least it is a 3 gun.
Yeah.
So its misfire rating is only a 1.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Ulrich. Okay. So here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait. You're basically waiting for everybody to fire, and then you're gonna do your jump. So we'll do that in just a second. Okay. Cheer. Are you attacking the closest one as well?
Yes.
Okay. Gonna roll with advantage.
Captain Insano should.
Compliments of Captain Insane.
Crit.
Crit? Wow. Okay.
I'm not
That
even
is
gonna
the
fucking
5 of
I'm
diamonds.
going to kill it. I'm just going to land on a.
Oh, here, make sure everybody saw that. That is the 5 of diamonds. All right. 5 of diamonds. Your next attack has advantage.
I'm going to have to climb down and go run at one of
It's
them.
the
That's
dice
great.
are crit.
And the dice are matched.
So 12 plus your blood dice. So 18.
So
She gets
18
a
damage. So
ability
18
modifier.
damage.
Well,
Okay.
that's without my thing, without the 4 for the what's it called?
Okay, no, it's 12 from the dice, and then 6 from your cut.
Yeah. And I don't get proficiency. So
No.
yeah, so it's not.
Okay.
Second attack.
How much damage was that total? 18, right?
18.
Okay. And second attack?
Advantage just because it's
First attack is advantage.
yeah, but you said that my next attack has advantage.
Yes.
That's a hit.
That is going to be a 24.
That is a hit. Damage, please.
No.
9? Okay. Between Callus, Cheer, and Gunner, they lean over and just start firing at this thing. And you see one round hit it, then a second one, and you see a piece of its fungal body just get torn off. It hits another one, and the left arm falls off of its body. The last one hits straight center of the head, and its fungus head just explodes in a cloud of spores. As that happens, you can barely hear, over the roar of the waterfall, a shrieking as the other myconids in the room turn and look up at you guys. Yes, Ulrich. We're gonna come back to you now.
Okay.
What are you doing? This one is dead.
Wait. I have a question, because I do have that new mark, and it is when a creature falls within 30 feet of me.
You have to expend the mark first.
Okay, that's what I was making.
You spent your bonus action this turn to cut instead.
I'll just make
So,
sure.
So what are you doing, Ulrich?
Hold action until one gets closer at this point.
Okay.
Because they murked the one I was going to elbow drop.
One eye.
I'm gonna hold action until I can.
And Fion.
I'm gonna hold action until something useful. I could do something useful.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and summon up the tiger and towards the beasties, but encompassing all of us. So 10 temporary health points.
Okay, so you're summoning up this right there, so you can catch
farther,
everybody.
It's farther forward.
It's far. So here.
Yeah.
It's what's the range? 30 or 60?
Well, let's go.
I'll have you double
let's
check
just-
real
Let's
quick.
assume 30.
Okay. So assuming 30, that will catch everybody right there.
As a matter of fact, I can do it right here.
Alrighty. So real
30
quick.
foot radius.
I'm sorry.
30 foot.
Okay. One eye.
Forgot I had that written down.
Does a 13 hit?
No.
Does a 11 hit?
No.
Does a 15 hit?
No.
Okay. You feel something. It's not the water falling in the air, but it's kind of like, what the hell? It's definitely coming from like right behind you. As you look back, you see this orange ochre-colored mushroom is just kind of vibrating a bit. And as you look back at the back of your coat, it is just pin-cushioned with these hair-fine needles that are just covering the back of you.
Watch out for the mushrooms. They shoot shit.
Okay, Gunner.
Jump down to where I can get within 30 feet of the next target.
Okay, I need a acrobatics check, please.
That's a 15.
15. You jump and land at its 15 feet of your movement, but you land on your feet. You can continue if you like.
Okay, just when I've got
So-
30 feet to the next target.
So you're going to go 5. That'll put you in range of this guy right here.
And then
Or you could do this guy right here.
I'll do the weird
The little guy? Okay, the twisted one. All right, go ahead and roll to hit,
grip
please.
one.
Yep.
That is going to be a 24.
24 is definitely a hit. Damage, please.
13 damage.
13 damage. Alrighty.
Second shot. 23.
23 is a hit. Damage, please.
Oh, it's only 6 damage.
6 damage? Alrighty. You still have a bonus action if you'd like to take it.
No, we're good.
Okay. Callus, you see Gunner hop down off of this thing, and you hear him firing. The waterfall is so loud, his gunshots, you can barely hear them over the waterfall.
I am going to jump down as well.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an acrobatics check, please.
Don't fall on your ass. He fell on his ass there.
What is the roll?
That is a 7.
7. You fall. Oh, your knees kind of hurt a little bit, but you stay on your feet.
Okay. Do I see mushrooms nearby me?
You see the one that is on the ground. You can see yellowish spores seem to be wafting off of its body. You see one that is reeling as it's being shot by Gunner, and you see the other two that seem to be beginning to move forward.
No, I
towards
meant
you.
like mushrooms.
Oh yeah, they're 10 feet away from you
Okay.
to your left, and there's some growing among the boulders to your right.
How close to my right?
Literally 5 feet away from you.
Okay. Can I stomp on them?
These are not the orange mushrooms. These are
Okay.
the other
Oh,
mushrooms.
so the orange mushrooms.
You see a huge patch of those orange mushrooms over here.
Ah, all right. I will take another 5 or 10 feet to the river.
Okay, so we're gonna go to move that. That's
And
Okay.
so I can shoot that one that's right there?
you can indeed. Now that one is halfway in the water, so it does have a bonus to its armor class. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Well, that's what am I going to do anyway?
Insult it.
I'll try that next time. Yeah, that is a 9.
9. You aim and fire, and your round goes straight into the water.
And then for my bonus action, I will tell Gunner to aim for the dick.
You hear just barely over the roar of the waterfall, "Aim for the dick!" And you. That's a good idea. Ulrich, you see Callith and Gunner both jump off this ledge, and you hear gunshots going down. You can see there is a surge of movement happening down there. What are you gonna do?
I guess I'll hop down.
You gonna hop down?
Mm-hmm.
So right where that guy died, go to roll me an acrobatics check, please.
Can I climb down and use athletics?
If you want to climb down, yes, it does take more of your movement to do that.
15.
15. So you spend 20 feet of movement, but you can and get down, which will put you right there.
How far away is the one that they're shooting?
The one they're shooting is off to your right. You see they're aiming to their right and firing. You can see that mass of vegetation beginning to like crest out of the water.
But how far away is the one that they're shooting
From you, 5, 10, 15, about 30 feet away from you.
at? That's within my chucking range.
You want to throw your shield?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You've been good with it so far.
18.
18 is a hit. Damage, please.
2 damage.
2 damage. I would like you to go and roll me a d8, please.
1.
1. It plops in the water right in front of this guy. Hits him in the chest and then whoop, disappears into the drink.
I'll spend the rest of my 10 feet of movement to get...
You gonna tromp through the mushrooms or go around the
No,
mushrooms?
like around through the tiger thing or whatever, like behind Gunner.
Okay, so you're gonna move in right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
on,
Alrighty,
girl,
it
it's
is now
okay.
this
No.
thing's turn.
I can't move through you because you're fucking massive.
So as this thing begins to move through the water, it doesn't shrink in height. It's almost like its
penis.
body elongates from its lower limbs as it goes 5, 10, and steps out of the water. This thing moves kind of slowly, and it's kind of gangly as it moves. Its arms are way too long for its body. It is going to go ahead and... Ooh. Okay, yeah. So it looks at you, and you see those same kind of like gills on the side of this thing's neck. You see them begin to vibrate, and you can't hear anything over the roar of the waterfall. But if you could, you would hear like a hum, like almost like bees in a hive. I need you to go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Does that count as an attack? Yeah, that's a 7.
Okay. You see, as you're both shooting at this thing approaches Callith, and you see Callith just lower his arm. His 3-gun drops from his hand. You see his pupils dilate, and you just see him start.
say Constitution, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Would it have mattered that much? Would it have mattered that much?
I need to go ahead.
Really would've.
Anything else, it would have been a negative. It wouldn't have been a -1. But yeah,
Okay.
right, it really would've.
That's going to end his turn. Cheer, you are up.
So do the
Looks like it's
mark.
On who?
It doesn't say, it just says any creature.
So any
When it
creature?
falls within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
So I just activate that mark, I guess.
Okay.
Like I said, it's a reaction.
Okay, cool. Then it's your reaction, not a bonus action. Okay. So what did you get?
No, it does it.
No, I know. So what happens?
Oh, okay, sorry. So when a creature falls unconscious or dies within 30 feet, you can use your reaction to have the creature make a single weapon attack.
Oh, okay, yeah, it wouldn't have mattered.
Okay. No.
Yeah, because literally it would have attacked. There's nothing else there for it to attack. But yeah, it basically tried to claw something as it died.
Okay, so
And you get to choose what it claws at. Okay.
So if they're two enemies next to each other.
Yeah, one drops, the other one can.
I was kind of hoping it would have clustered a little more.
Well, you guys are moving way before they are.
They're
I will
going.
go ahead and
Gonna hop down?
no, I'm gonna shoot at that one.
Okay, the one that's now you see Calith is suddenly just kind of looking around, and this thing has now lost complete interest in Calith.
Cal's, because I got
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot at that one.
How many times is Cal gonna get hot to?
20?
20, yeah.
20 is a hit. Damage, please.
3 plus 7, right? 5.
That's a 5.
5 damage.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Second attack.
Roll a hit.
22.
Yep, 22.
22 is a hit. Damage.
8.
8, yeah.
Alrighty. Take it, shooting this thing, like with the other one, you saw pieces of it coming off. This thing, as you hit it, you see the hole appear and it just kind of close up on its own. But you can see it seems to be diminishing in size every time it gets hit. This thing now is going to take its turn. And, I'm sorry, you're leaving scorch. Yours is not passing through it, excuse me. Yours is leaving scorch marks, and you see bits of it just falling away, and other bits, like, being thrown off of its body like pieces of paper in a fire. This thing is now
Like
going to
it's
move.
still there so I could harvest it afterwards if I wanted, right?
Oh, you gotta shoot.
Yes, you do. This rolling mass of vegetation just seeing like a what do they call like the Critters Vault, just up and over this thing, splash into the water in front of you, and a head filled with what looks to be razor sharp rock-like teeth begins to appear as it opens up and goes to attack. And for the sake of fairness, evens odds. That is evens. So it is going to attempt to snap at you twice. So first snap, that is a 15.
Match.
Okay, first snap,
Don't forget to tap
that
hit points.
is
Oh, I'm not forgetting those.
Maybe get 10 points.
13 points of, so 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, piercing damage for these. And then okay, all right. So then, second attack is a natural 20. Sorry, that is
Stop doing
the
that. That's
ace.
3 tonight.
Ace of clubs. I know. I've already rolled 3 tonight, and that's the ace of clubs. So that is you sure are blinded as this thing cuts you right above the eye, and blood begins to pour into your eyes. You can you'll be able to make a Constitution throw at the end of each round to get rid of it. And that is max damage is 8, 16, 20 points of piercing damage. Okay, so D12 plus your con, right?
Yeah. So 9 plus 2 is 11. So
And now it's these guys. So now these guys' turn as these ones begin to slowly move forward. 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. These things are screeching. You can almost feel the rage in them, but they move slow. Their bodies aren't designed for combat. It seems like it's working against them. One eye.
I'll jump down.
Okay, acrobatics check, please.
That's be a 23.
You, bam, and you are ready to go, but that is 15 feet of your movement.
20, 21.
21. Okay. And what else would you like to do?
I'll get in stabbing distance to the big
Alright.
toothy maw.
So you go up standing at the edge of this water. This water, the water you've seen here, is pristine and clear. This water is dark and murky and stinks. Go ahead, take your attack against this thing. Gunner is currently threatening it, so you have sneak attack.
That's a natural 19 on the die.
That is definitely a hit. Damage, please.
15 damage.
15 damage. Alrighty, let me get this guy. Oh, I didn't even make a thing for this. Okay, so I will now. Okay. Said 15, right?
Aye.
Alrighty, second attack. What is your bonus action?
Aye.
No, because it doesn't say.
Natural 20. Wow, that is a lot of natural 20s tonight. That is the Ace of Hearts.
Oh, another ace.
So, the Ace of Hearts.
Someone didn't cut very well.
Okay, we're gonna pull. Would you like to spend one of your white dice to pull again, or your white chips to pull again?
Is it replacing that one?
Yes.
So it could be worse.
Well, it can't be any worse.
Because the ace is what's it?
Sounds
Well,
like a DM
because
suggestion.
the ace is not going to affect this creature. So it's your choice. If you like, you can go ahead and pull another card.
I'll pull another card.
Okay, I will not mark that off. That is the 5 of spades. That will be more useful. Roll an extra d10 damage on top of your 4. You have 2 weapon fighting, correct?
Aye.
So 8 plus a d10. So 13 damage, 13 more damage.
Weird, that's actually 9 because my dagger also.
Oh, this is the other dagger.
Oh, so it'd be 8 plus 5, 13.
Okay. Alrighty. One Eye, that is all of your actions. Leon. This rolling mass of vegetation, now that it's crested out of the water, this thing is almost huge.
That's quite a description. Almost huge.
Yes, it is large, on the verge of being huge.
That's what she said last time.
Throw a rock at it!
I don't have any rocks to throw, otherwise I'd have done that before.
I would like you to go ahead and roll me a history check with advantage.
It's all of an 11. Yeah. History.
I need you to look at your phone real quick while I send you a whisper.
Very nice.
Oh, that's a bit nice. I appreciate it. Come on, network, be nice.
We're pausing for a moment while he sends a message in the tenseness of your music.
Well, you see, Fiat has a negative to intelligence or brain flag.
See, Cheer is the smartest person in the party.
There we go. Use with
Not
that
the
as
wisest.
you will.
Actually,
And there's a difference between intelligence and being
Oh.
smart.
Yeah.
step better.
So, Fion, that comes into your head. What are you going to do?
They like lightning? That's good to know. Because that's literally the only attack spell I have, other than throwing stones. I literally can't do anything here. Well, at least that stops that.
Oh, are you going to say anything or no?
Stop lightning! Do not shoot that with lightning.
The big one.
No lightning.
Okay.
Thank you. I guess I get to move down next to the one that.
That's when backstory comes into play in the game and ruins the DM's fun.
Guess I'll slide down and take a slash at the one that just, gassed.
Okay, I would like you to roll me an acrobatics check. This one with disadvantage because of the rocks you were jumping onto.
Well,
You are fine.
That's a pass.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So you land on the rocks, just like a friggin' pirate. What are you doing?
Cat. His cats land on their feet.
Puss in Boots.
That is true. That is true. You should have advantage anyway.
I know, right?
I'm sorry. I'm just like right now. I'm just imagining Fionn like one of the cats from the movie Cats, and it's just terrifying.
Please stop that.
Why would you do that, Dave?
Why would you?
It just came into my head right
New
now.
cats or old cats?
Go ahead.
Terrible.
Doesn't
She actually has hair on her head for starters.
Just picture
Good
fat
God.
Puss in Boots
That is all of. Sure.
from the 4th Street.
No. That is all of an 11.
11 is a miss.
Yeah.
And this thing just kind of lazily moves out of the way as you swipe at it. Some of the rubble giving beneath you, and you find that you are standing on a pile of loose rocks. And Dakin at this point is going to do nothing yet.
He's got a hail
So, nothing
Plus
there.
5.
He is.
It is a
And
12. Actually, he's right. It is a 12. My bad.
12?
I
A
didn't
12
update.
is barely a miss.
Okay then. Thank you for pointing that
Okay.
out. I didn't update
Gunnar,
it.
we're back to you.
Alright.
Oh God.
Well, it's the grand gun, so it doesn't matter if I misfire, and I got disadvantage anyway, so 2 shots at the big ugly thing.
Yeah, you are blinded, just trying to
Yeah.
shoot. Yep, go ahead.
15.
15 against this thing. Let me double check. 15 is a match.
Sweet.
His head's inside.
9 points damage.
9 points of damage.
Second shot's better than a 15. It's a 21.
That is a hit. Damage.
11 points of damage.
11.
Bonus action reload.
Yep. That is all 6 of your rounds. Okay, Gunner, that is no movement action, correct, right?
Con save.
So, Constitution saving throw.
20.
20. You managed to get the blood out of your eyes. You are no longer blinded.
And I'm back up on rounds.
And Caliph. Caliph, you feel at one with the universe. You finally understand what Dakin sees when he prays to his God. The universe wells up around you and fills you to the brim. You are ecstatic. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I gotta club him across the back of the head.
You eyes fuck.
2.
2.
You know, you should
You
use
are-
this on yourself.
At one with the
You are not only at one with the universe, you are plumbing its depths and learning its secrets. Ulrich.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna move to the one that's Fian trying to swipe at.
Okay. We'll go to move the kitty cat real quick. You know the kitty cat's right there. Okay.
I proceed to start muda.
Okay, roll a hit.
First 3 attacks. 12.
12 is a miss.
Okay, and then 18 plus 7, then a 14 plus 7.
Okay, so the 18 plus 7 is a hit. Before you roll damage, Constitution saving throw.
17.
17. Okay. All right. As you are hitting this thing, you see those same kind of spores that come out of the husks are emanating out of this creature. You're going to roll damage.
You mean the one I was
16?
swiping at?
No, the one you're
16 total.
16 total. Alrighty.
Action surge.
Okay.
Proceed to continue my
Slap.
Roll the hit.
miss.
And no ones?
There was a 1, yes.
Okay. Ones or fumbles. That is a jack of clubs. So the jack of clubs, the fungus, the fungus that is coming off of this creature, you inhale it and it immediately makes your stomach turn. You nearly vomit as you're swinging at this thing. You are nauseated on your next turn, so you have disadvantage on attacks and checks on your next turn.
You should puke on it.
And this thing is going to turn to you, and let's see. Oh no. Okay, cool. He has multiple uses of that, so never mind. So he's going to look at you, and I need a Constitution saving throw as well.
I'm good, most likely, because 15 plus 7.
15 plus 7 is definitely good. And sorry, you're actually right here to be adjacent to him.
Because
not
15
the
plus
others.
7 isn't a pass, and a lot of people are fucked.
Like everybody.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And that is going to end his turn. Alrighty. Cheer. You're up.
Nothing's unconscious, because it's just a reaction.
Nothing has fallen unconscious. I will let you know.
Gonna shoot the fucker again.
Alrighty.
Using my inspiration.
14.
14 to hit.
14 is a hit on this guy.
Ooh, I think it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Which one are you taking? The little one, right?
Yeah.
This guy? Yes, 14 is a hit.
16 damage.
16 damage on this one. This thing, you hit it right in the center of its chest with your lightning, and you just see it start to burn from the inside out as the fire spreads quickly. You can spend your reaction. How many times a day are you able to do this?
It's just a reaction.
Just a reaction? Awesome.
Yeah, because it doesn't say it's like any time of day.
Awesome.
It's just reaction. So it goes down. I will amplify and take the additional 5.
Okay.
And he will get a swiping attack. +1 on the creature next to him.
+1 to hit. Yeah.
It's a +1.
Okay, so on which creature?
Let's take the biggie.
The biggie? Okay, so I'll let you roll it. You want to roll a hit? It's additional +1, right?
Yes.
So you have a +5 to hit.
That's a 14.
14 does not hit.
Damn.
So this thing tears into it, but it doesn't seem to have any effect on the creature, and this thing
And it's gone.
dies.
It's
At this point, Calith and Ulrich, I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
I still get my second attack.
Yes, you do. Just give me 1 second.
21.
21 and 7.
16.
Okay, you're all right. You're both good. Cheers. Second attack.
Who broke that? I was enjoying that.
No, you're still in it.
Oh.
10.
That's a 10. To get
Boom!
no,
And it
no.
shoots into the water next to this guy right here, correct? Yes. I figured. It is now this thing's turn. And this thing,
Can I reload?
yeah, you have a bonus action, so yes, you can reload. Okay,
Because that was on my shoulder.
I need, from you, Gunner, a dexterity saving throw, please.
19.
19. So you hop back as this thing, with its giant head, tries to swallow both you and Calith, but only succeeds in Calith. Its second attack,
Oh, I'm Bliss.
it is going to attempt to... Nope. Never mind. That is its only attack. So... Okay. So Calith is currently inside this creature. As this thing comes up, you see its Calith's legs disappear down its gullet. And it is now these things' turns. This one is going to approach here, and Ulrich, this thing is going to swing at you with its 3-clawed stump. I could not have done any better than that. That is a natural 20. That is about the only way I want to hit you guys. 3 of diamonds.
Yeah, that's number 4?
That is number 4 tonight.
Yeah, but
to be
we've
fair,
got
I have
3.
rolled a lot of attacks. His next attack has advantage, and you are going to take, that is maximum damage, so that is 9 points of bludgeoning and 8 points of poison damage. This other one here is going to go 10, 15, up to one eye, and is going to swing at one eye. That is a 17 to hit. Okay, I need D4s for this, gentlemen. It has a +2 to hit. I'm rolling pretty well. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage and 5 points of poison damage for a total of 2 points of damage. Because you have temporary hit points. So temporary hit points are gone and you take 2. That is going to end his turn. One eye! It is your turn. You have seen Calith disappear within inside this creature.
Is there anyone adjacent to the big creature?
Right now, yes. Gunner and Ulrich are both adjacent to it.
So I
Okay,
didn't hop back.
No, you did. You hop back 5 feet from the space you were in. But you're still adjacent to it, yeah.
is there any way to flank?
No, not currently. Not unless you want to get into the water, but you don't know how deep that water is.
Natural 1.
That is a 10 of diamonds for the natural 1. Natural 1. Enemies have advantage to attack you till the beginning of your next turn. You basically stumble on this and you are thrown off balance. Go ahead and make your second attack.
10.
10 is a miss as well. You still have a bonus or a move action if you'd like to take it.
No, I'm in the fight.
Okay, Fionn.
I'm going to assist against the target that just moved up.
Okay, so you're going to take a 5-foot step forward to help out.
Yeah.
Okay, roll to hit.
No, assist.
Oh, okay, so you're helping Ulrich, correct?
Aye.
Okay. And Dakin's turn. Dakin is still going to do nothing, not until it looks like we actually need him to do something. I would like One-Eye, Gunner, Ulrich, and Fionn to make perception checks.
22. 14.
Oh, wow, that's a 25.
Not natural, but a 20.
You all see what can most closely be described as a loose collection of icebergs that have floated up the water and are now on this level. They're still in the water right at the mouth of the waterfall itself, but they are moving against the current towards you all.
Uh-oh. Oh, goody.
Gunner.
Cut. Holster and draw.
Okay.
A gunfighter. And take 2 cuts at it. 15 and a 24.
Go both hit. Damage, please.
19 damage.
19 damage total?
Yep.
And I apologize, but this thing is immune to bleed. It is a giant, massive plants.
I kind of figured pretty much everything is immune to bleed.
Caliph? I need as this thing, you automatically fail the Constitution saving throw to get yourself out of this creature. So you take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as it is literally crushing you to death. You are still high. Go to roll another Constitution saving throw.
Roll good. That's cocked.
Oh.
A 0.
Yes.
You are
That's cocked up.
being crushed to death, and you are loving every second of it. You don't even feel the pain.
Does it feel my horns?
It doesn't seem to react. I mean, you're not here. You're gone. You're a Neptune. You are out there, man. Like, the men who stare at goats are looking at you like, God damn, you're high. Ulrich.
Punch. The big one.
The big one? Okay, roll to hit.
Disadvantage still?
You have the... Yes, disadvantage from the nauseated.
Guess a 9 doesn't hit.
9 does not hit.
21 though, I'm sure.
21 hits.
So the damage for that one, before I do my bonus action punch, it's going to be 7 damage.
7 damage, thank you.
And then last one, 9 doesn't hit.
And you're not moving, correct?
No, because then I'll have the attack of opportunity against me.
Cheer.
Gunner, get Cal out. Please.
Fuck, am I supposed to do that?
Get him out.
Go in. Draxit, come on.
And shoot again on this little one.
This one here?
Yeah.
Okay, she is currently assisting you by getting up in its face, so you have advantage on the attack. It's only the first attack.
Crit.
I'll take the
20 hits.
Yeah, it's a 20.
20 definitely hits. Damage, please.
That's 12 damage.
12 damage. This is the first damage this guy has taken. Alrighty.
And again.
Second attack. Go
I
ahead.
still have advantage.
No.
19?
Yep.
19 is a hit. Damage.
11.
Yep.
11 points. Alrighty. 4 rounds in the gun still. Any other actions from you? Bonus or move? Where?
Yes, acrobatics, get down.
Okay, jump down. You're jumping on this pile of rocks. You're going to roll acrobatics with disadvantage, please.
Disadvantage.
Unless you want to move around and jump in a safer place. You could do that.
Jump in a safe.
Okay, go and roll without disadvantage. It's going to take you all of your movement to get down, though. This guy should be back here. What is it?
17.
17 is good.
I'm just
All
having
right.
difficulties.
It is now this thing's turn, and with a full belly, it is now trying to focus on you. It's going to attempt to snap twice. First snap, that is a 9. Second snap, that is a 21.
That is.
That is 12, 16 points of piercing damage. And that is going to end its turn. Just, anything that's immune to exhaustion is immune to the bleed. The things that aren't immune to exhaustion suffer the bleed. It is now their turn.
I didn't think mushrooms bled, so I was kind of not feeling it.
Well, some might, but maybe these are different from the other one. Maybe because the other one was desiccated. But, excuse me. This guy is going to go after you again. Ulrich, this thing is just swinging away. Actually, no. Constitution saving throw, please. It stops, and you see its gills, for lack of a better word, open up, and something comes out of it.
No. Yeah, 16.
16? You cough a bit and kind of wave it in front of your head. You feel like you're starting to get a headache, but you manage to shake it off. One Eye, same thing.
Thank God after a con save.
11.
11. You suddenly feel everything just narrows to a point and pain erupts into your skull. You are stunned. And go ahead and make another Constitution saving throw. It is at the end of your turn.
9.
It's so intense, it is debilitating. Fionn.
Can I get close to the big one without provoking?
You could jump into the water, or you could come back around, but you will provoke from this one.
If you go into the water, you won't provoke.
But you don't know how deep the water is.
Yeah.
Like, this thing is still halfway in the water, and these myconids are about up to here with the water.
Yeah, I'll just provoke.
Gonna provoke? Does a 16 hit?
Yeah.
Woo! So that is
This is a light off.
8 points of slashing damage
Should be able to.
and 4 points of poison
I'm just
damage.
gonna have a gun in your offhand.
So 2 points of damage after your stuff. So you can come back around here. I'm gonna move your kitty cat again. Sorry, kitty cat.
Yeah.
And you can get right up next to the snapper.
I guess I'm assisting with the snapper.
So you're gonna help with the snapper. So you'll have an advantage on your first attack against it. It is Dakin's turn, and Dakin is gonna go ahead and throw a guiding bolt at that creature. That is a 12. Is gonna be a miss. So you see Dakin just rush, kind of step forward, hold his holy symbol out, and a beam of light shoots out from it. And the creature just kind of opens a hole in its body, and the beam goes straight through and hits the water and closes up behind it. You just hear him, 7, damn it. And, okay, so he did walk up, so that is going to be hilarious. Let's see what happens. Nope. He's holding his shield down as he saw what the mushroom did to you, as it seems to have grown more of these things, and he just kind of holds his shield out and is like, nah, I'm good. I don't want those in my chainmail. I'm good. Alrighty.
He's got to move.
Now, at this point, it appears to be a whirlwind of water and ice particles erupts out of the water and begins to hover almost below it, where there's just a small little cylindrical attachment of itself to the water as this creature begins to come forward. It looks just like that.
Does it also happen to look corrupted?
Slowly comes forward, and as it does, it is going to... That is plenty of that. You see this thing just envelop this mic in it, and you can see the shards of ice are tearing into its back as it slowly begins to turn around. That was a lot of damage.
Fair enough.
shit that drowned us is not helping us. I'm not complaining.
Alright.
Taxes till then. Good.
Gunner.
First cut. 16, 17.
17 is a hit. Damage, please.
That's going to be 8 damage.
8 damage.
Second cut. I'm going to use the inspiration on that one.
Oh.
So that's going to be a 19.
19 is a hit. Damage, please.
And that's going to be 6 damage.
6 damage.
Inspiration.
And then we are going to second wind.
Alright, go and roll your d10 plus
7
5.
plus 5. So 12.
Alrighty. Caliph. Once again, you automatically fail you're not resisting this creature. That is another 11 points of bludgeoning damage, and I need another Constitution saving throw.
A natural 1 again.
That is 2 natural ones in a row. Oh my god. Ulrich.
I'm trying.
Punch.
Which one?
The big one.
Go ahead. Roll the hit. You are no longer nauseated. You have vomit all over the front of your armor, but you are no longer nauseated.
First 2. Does a 13 hit? No. 17 plus 7 does.
Yes.
So.
The 13 you hit. It just doesn't seem to have any impact to it.
So that one's 6 damage, and then bonus action punch.
Okay, go ahead.
Nope.
No? Not another one, right?
No.
Okay. Cheer.
Is it possible for me to move up in front of the thing?
Which thing?
The big thing.
Well, currently, Fionn and Gunnar are both in front of it.
I can't roll it.
You could go trample the mushrooms to your left to stand at least next to
I
it.
get like one.
But you are currently out of its threat range, so you can fire without disadvantage if you'd like.
Not in it, but the plants.
Which one? The one that is on Ulrich, or the one that is on One Eye? You see One Eye is on the ground and he's holding his head in pain.
The one that's on One Eye.
Okay, go ahead and roll a hit.
Do I have advantage?
No.
10.
That's a 2.
10 is a miss.
Does 18.
Then 18 hits. Damage, please.
4 damage.
4 damage.
It was shit.
That was pretty bad. It just wings it. The thing is, it just turned at the last second as this, whatever this thing is behind it, it starts ripping into its flesh. That is all for you, correct? You still have a bonus action and a move action. And you have 2 more rounds in. Is that it? Okay. This thing is going to continue its focus on you. It has already swallowed one creature, so it cannot swallow another one. So, first attack,
Spits him out.
unless it spits him out. That is a 17 hit.
Spit him out.
Second attack, that is a 13 plus, so it's 20 to hit. So, first set of damage is 11. Second set of damage is 14. So, 25 total. As this thing is just taking giant, thick cords of vegetation and just smacking you around with them as it's trying to attempt to bite you. It's these adults' turn, and this thing is now going to attack the thing behind it. That is a natural 1. Let's see, why not? Let's see what happens. The Joker! The Joker with the 2 of spades. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Oh my.
Okay, so
Could use some.
this thing begins flailing wildly. Now, every round, it attacks a random target because it is enraged.
The big one?
No, the little myconid that was on you. So it's now, instead of attacking and pressing its advantage on you, it's just literally like, danger, Will Robinson, danger, danger! The other one on you, Ulrich, it is going to go ahead and attempt to spore you again. I need another Constitution saving throw, please.
22.
22 is good. It's basically like leaf blowing spores at you, and you're just managing to stave off each one. It made you vomit, but it's, but it hasn't really affected you too badly yet. One Eye, I need a Constitution saving throw from you, please.
Alright.
Thank God for fucking high
That
roll.
is a 8.
8. The pain is just too much. Fionn.
It's time.
Huh? Heal that one. With the heal kit.
Were they what?
The
Oh, the healer's kit on who?
14.
On him?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. That
Sometimes
is-
you just got it.
Alrighty.
Who else messed up? I'm assuming all.
Are you gonna move or bonus?
Everybody but Elric.
Forward smart.
Well, I
It's
can't
not
get to
smart,
him.
but
He's
stalwart.
irrelevant at this point.
Oh,
Until we
can
get
you
him out of
cast
there.
at him?
So no?
No,
I
it's a
have no
healer's
other
kit.
actions.
Okay. At this point, Dakin is once again going to cast another guiding bolt at that thing, trying to help out. That's a hit. I need D10s.
Please kill it, Dakin.
That is 17 points of damage. Alrighty. That thing is now glowing brightly. The next attack against it has advantage. I will not put it on there because it's not going to matter because it's going to get attacked like literally here in a minute. Okay, so give me 1 sec. Let me make sure I'm going to do this right. Okay, yeah, this thing is going to move up to where it is adjacent to both you and this thing, and it's going to do 1 attack on you and 1 attack on it. So the attack on you, it has advantage because you are
Fucking
stunned.
water, Beyblade.
Wow. Stunned, that is a 14 to hit. You're literally writhing around in pain, and you just move out of the shards of ice that are flinging around this thing. This thing attacks the Myconid. Wow, that is a... Yeah, that's a hit. Okay. It is slowly ripping that thing apart. Alrighty. Oh, yeah. I need to add that to it, too. Okay.
Is it dead?
No, but it is missing large chunks of its body.
This is like
Gunner.
close to fucking half.
Take the first chop. Crit.
That is a 2 of clubs. 2 of clubs. Go ahead and add. You cut across this thing, severing several of the tendrils that are holding it up, and it falls to the ground and begins to slowly move. This thing is slowed.
Okay. 11 damage.
Max damage, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was my max damage.
Second attack.
7 plus 6, 13.
13 is a miss. I mean, the second one, you're still cutting those things away, just trying to slow this thing down as much as you
I
can.
don't have shit.
Were we able to see him when it got cut out?
No, not quite. Callus, I need a...
Go first.
Well, first... Okay, that is 2 points of bludgeoning damage, as I rolled minimum damage.
Well, that's much better. I'm still alive.
Go to roll your Constitution saving throw, please.
8.
You are still tripping balls. Sorry, Callus, I know this is boring for you.
I'm trying, man.
Ulrich.
Oh no, Cal is happy.
Oh, yes, he is.
Cal's
You
on
swinging
cloud
at the
9
big guy?
being massaged by angels.
He's on the flying dog.
One.
Never ending story.
That is a 4 of hearts. Your next attack, disregard your roll. Roll with disadvantage now.
Yes. Elliot's, what's it called?
It sounds like
9 plus 7 is
16 is a hit. Damage.
Both skills are.
minimum damage again, 6.
You got the third attack.
Okay. And your last attack if you want to spend your bonus action. This one does not have disadvantage.
Nat 20. Better.
That is a 6 of clubs.
why do we always get the clubs?
Clubs aren't bad.
I know they're not bad.
I mean, it's already slowed.
And once again, it is slowed again, but can't really do much. But that is max
You
damage.
can chip
Yeah,
it.
12.
12.
You can chip it.
You are starting to see the black of
Back of what?
Use
Callus.
one of your chips.
Oh, chip it.
Chip it.
I was like chip it away.
Jack of hearts. That is much better, Pool. His next attack has disadvantage.
That might save my ass.
And that it was now as you are you're not punching this thing, you're just tearing parts of this thing off as much as you can, and now you start to see what looks to be a bit of Callus' cloak, or I'm sorry, his fine jacket inside this thing. You see it for the briefest of moments before he's wrapped up in these tendrils again. Cheer.
Shoot.
For reaction, I yelled at
Okay,
him.
go ahead and roll a hit.
Get him out! That is going to be a 27.
That is a hit. Damage, please.
26.
This is 26.
10 damage.
As this thing is trying to stick its 6 claws into the back of One Eye's head and peel it open like an orange, you take aim and fire right between its mirrored eyes, and its head just explodes like Gallagher hitting a watermelon.
I have him rise
You
up.
it all Gallagher
What's left of it and attack the big one.
Okay, roll a hit, +2. Oh, are you going to amplify or no? Okay, so +2 to hit.
Should I amplify it? That is an actual
Crit.
That's 20.
Bitch,
That is
right.
an ace of spades. We've had a lot of aces today.
Holy shit.
Make another attack for free with advantage against it. And that is max damage. It is immune to the poison damage, but it does take 9 damage from the attack.
Is it
16.
16.
16 is a
I
hit.
think it's a 16.
Roll 2d4 for me, please. It's immune to the poison damage, so don't bother rolling that. But it's 2d4 plus 1.
That's 5.
Another 5 damage. As this thing reaches in and just begins to rip away again, you see Callus' face for a moment, and then again it disappears.
Very smiling.
And this thing is just reeling. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Other plant thing.
All right, go ahead, turn and shoot. Go ahead.
17 plus 7.
That is a hit. Damage, please.
That's gonna be.
You only got 2 bullets left.
No, that is the second bullet.
No, I mean in the gun.
Yeah. That is going to be
11
11.
damage.
11 damage. Alrighty.
No, that's it.
So this thing, trying to press its advantage against you, it has disadvantage on its first
And
attack
how long
against
does
you.
it take me to reload now?
It's a bonus action to reload.
So,
That is a 13 to hit. So misses with the
First swipe.
first swipe, and that is a 15.
Match.
15 matches, and that is almost max, 19 damage.
Oh shit.
As this thing just swiping at you with the tendrils as fast as it can, it's reduced its size almost by half. And that's going to end its turn. It is now this thing's turn, and this thing, it would run away if it was smart, but it is enraged, so it's not going to. Seeing that leaf blowering spores is not working on you, Ulrich, this thing is going to attempt to attack you. That is an 18 to hit.
Yep.
Natural 16, gotta love it. That is 5 points of slashing damage and 7 points of poison damage. So 12 total. And that's going to end its turn. One Eye, I need a saving throw from you, please.
It's a 4
Nope.
plus.
Sorry, One Eye.
That's
Got
a
queefing
7.
in my face.
Yeah.
And decided to actually try to fight me.
This is the worst headache you've ever had in your life. Like, you're at the point now where you've unloaded all of your lunch on the floor, like that mushroom did not taste nearly as good coming back up as it did going down.
How's everyone around me actually looking?
People are looking very bad.
I can only do one at a time. Who looks the worst?
At this point, probably Cal, but you can't really see him.
Of the people I can see.
Most likely Gunner. Gunner looks like he's bleeding profusely.
Fair enough.
What are you gonna do?
Cure light wounds.
What level?
Let's go with second.
Okay, roll 2d8. Plus 4, right? Or plus 3.
Yeah, it is plus 3.
Plus wisdom.
Oh, hey, that's
Wow,
actually
that's pretty
decent
good.
healing. That is what's it called?
16.
That's a.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
It's a 13 plus.
Yeah, 16. Yeah, 16. I can math. I can math sometimes.
Yeah, you can survive another hit.
Okay, Fionn, that is your standard action. You have a bonus and a move.
I guess I'll go ahead and shift.
Okay. And that's gonna end that, correct?
Huh?
That's gonna end your turn?
That's it, yeah.
Okay, Dakin is gonna attempt to jump down to join the fray. That is a natural 1.
Splat.
Sorry, Joe.
That's what happens when you have a -1.
Yeah, that's what happens when you can't show up. You're relying on the DM to roll, and I roll like crap for most of the time. Now this thing
420s.
is going to go ahead and
the
move
5.
right here, so it can attack both you and the creature. So the one on you, that is a 17 to hit.
Yeah.
Great job.
One eye, that is 14 points of bludgeoning damage. And the creature, that is 14 plus is definitely a hit. And that is 12 points of damage. This thing, it looks like it is barely holding on to its form. Doesn't look like it's going to be able to survive much longer. Let me see real quick. Okay, no, that did not
What's the
recharge.
state of that water elemental?
Gunner,
Oh,
It's a big, well, first cut on the big thing. 17.
It's a bait.
17 is a hit. Damage, please.
Basically, let her rip.
6 damage.
6
Yeah,
damage.
All of us to the
You slice it again, and you suddenly see Callith's face. His eyes glazed over, just, ooh, as he just boom, and falls out of this thing. It's still up and moving though.
Second cut. 11.
11 is a miss. This thing is basically like 3 or 4 vines still held together around some kind of central mass. There is almost nothing to this thing now. Anything else?
I'm out of bonus actions, man.
Go ahead and roll your Constitution saving throw, please, Callith.
But no damage this time.
No damage this time.
I'm at 20!
Suddenly, as your head painfully smacks against the ground, these spores clear from your vision, and you realize, ow, everything hurts.
I was having the most
Or-
profound thoughts. I think it was something about talking.
He was being tossed inside of a salad for once.
What are you gonna
Disgusting.
Continue the course.
do? Roll a hit.
First one, 19.
19 is a hit. Damage, please.
Then damaged again, 6.
6.
I just did it.
These tendrils are wrapped around something in its central mass, and instinctively you reach out, grab it, rip a couple of the tendrils off, and rip whatever this thing is out of it. As you do, you can see just the vines coming off of it, peeling off of it like a band-aid from a wound, and finally manage to rip it out and throw it on the ground. It shatters as it does so, the vines going limp and falling into the water.
It died.
It did.
Lines are left.
Yep.
We're gonna attack the little plant.
Go ahead and roll to hit.
Well, I have a bonus action, so I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
punch.
hold on, real quick, because this just happened as a reaction.
It's a +2, so it's
No, this guy's a +7.
+7, so that's a 14.
14's a hit. Damage.
It's
That's 2d8
2d8.
+4.
No wonder it hurts so bad.
It's a 2d8.
I,
It's not 2d8.
all the way to back. All the way back.
Oh shit.
12, 16 damage.
16 damage. As this thing, in its death throes, as the vines come off, one just falls right on this myconid and crushes it to death. You still have a bonus action and a move action.
Is there anything
Can I make
for the
the-
And you can use your other attack from your attack action as well.
Can I make
Guess
the
I'll, what's up? Is it just the,
It's that
Beyblade?
water elemental thing seems to still be up.
I'm gonna move up to it.
You can skirt along here to get right next to where One Eye is and try to attack it.
I don't gain advantage or anything because he's laying down, right? So second attack, 19.
19 is going to be a hit.
Let's use different dice this time. That's better. 9.
9 damage?
Mhm.
Alrighty.
And now I'm gonna back it with my bonus action.
Roll a hit.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. That is a King of Spades.
Yeah, we're gonna empty that deck by the end of the night,
King
man.
of Spades. Go
Finally
ahead and
started.
make another attack for free with advantage. And that is maximum damage, which is 12 damage.
17.
17 is a hit. Damage, please.
9 damage.
Alrighty.
Oh well.
Very nice turn. Just whack, whack, whack. Doing your best to try to mess things up as much as you possibly can. But as you back up, you realize you don't think you're doing as much damage as you should be.
Does it look like he's damaging it, or?
Yeah, he's definitely seems to be hurting it, but it doesn't look like it's hurting it very much. Cheer.
I can do one thing, that's touch the shit out of stuff.
It is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot the elemental.
Okay, roll to hit.
The Beyblade.
That is a 11.
11 is a miss. It passes straight through it,
Last
harmless.
shot before you go. During your last shot before you have to reload.
I already did last time. And that's a 13, yeah.
13 is also a miss. It's literally trying to hit debris floating through the air almost. It is incredibly hard to hit, apparently. One eye, I need a Constitution saving throw from you, please.
Let's not use that back.
Come on.
That was the
Nope.
nose. You have not rolled above a 5.
You have not rolled above a 5. God damn. Okay.
Dice are telling the story tonight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What is the state of this thing? Does it look corrupted?
If you wish to spend your standard action, I'll give you a perception check to see if you can see something.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll it.
Yeah, they are telling the story tonight. That is a 23.
There is definitely something mixed in with the ice. Something that feels wrong. Something that feels dark. Like negative energy coalesced.
Does it look like I can grab it?
No, I mean this thing it's literally swirling water with giant shards of ice, and it's in those ice pieces that you can see veins of, for lack of a better word, shadow.
It's in the ice.
Yes.
Only.
The shadow of it seems to be only in the ice.
Go for the ice.
Go for the ice, Boo! Go for the ice! Anything else, Fionn?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, I'll move over to one eye.
Alrighty.
By safe and probably secure this path.
Dakin, excuse me, is going to stand up. And how bad do you look, Gunnar?
About halfway between my worst day and my best.
He's going to
So
go
he's
ahead
bloody.
and drop. That is 11 points of healing into you. And I need to keep track of this. He has spent. So at this point, Dakin has spent 3 level 1 spells. Try not to spend all of it just in case it shows up next week, but we'll see what happens. Alrighty. It is now this thing's turn. And this thing, as you can't provoke because you are currently stunned, it is going to move right here, staying in your threat range. And it recharges. So it is going to attack the first 2 people it comes to, which is going to be Ulrich and Gunnar. Ulrich. That is a 19 to hit. Okay, so Ulrich, as the ice touches you, you haven't been able to really make sense of this. As the ice touches you, it burns with something else besides just cold. There is something else to it. You take a grand spanking total of, that is 13, 17... 26 points of cold and necrotic damage.
Like 26 of each?
No,
Or
26
together?
total.
Okay, fuck.
And
I sleep.
Gunnar, that is a natural 18. Okay, not as bad. That's 7 points of cold damage and 10 points of necrotic damage, so 17 damage total. Gunnar.
Move around and cut it.
It's literally right next to you.
Can I get to where I'm flanking with anybody?
Yeah, you could actually. You could move through cheer space, end up right here.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
First cut. Miss. Definitely a miss.
Second attack. It's not a 1, right?
No, it was a 2.
Okay.
12.
12 is it's swinging at ice. Apparently, is super super hard. I swear to God, its AC is not that high, guys.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's getting a little ugly. You're gonna go ahead and action surge.
Okay.
Attack. Crit.
That is a 10 of hearts. Would you like to spend something to pull another one?
I'll
All right.
pause.
That is the 4 of clubs. Or 4 spades, excuse me. Add another d10 to your attack.
Ooh.
So that is 14 plus...
7. So
Oh no, I'm sorry, you're using the blade, right?
yeah,
So it's 11 plus 7. So 18.
18
Okay.
damage.
Alrighty.
And 4th attack. 17.
17 is a hit. Damage.
It's going to be 7 damage.
7 damage. So even though you're using a blade, as it passes through this creature, you feel the barest hint of resistance, and you can see the blade just seem to glimmer a bit as it does so. Caliph, you are currently prone right here in this space that this thing moved over. What are you going to do?
Can I lunge at it with my rapier?
You want to stand first, or you want to do that prone?
I take
Actually, you would have to find your rapier at this point.
well, because
Oh, no,
I sheathed it.
You dropped your gun, so yes, you can pull out your rapier.
Yes. I'll pull it out and...
Roll a hit.
Do I need to stand to be not a disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll stand.
Stand, draw, and riposte! That is a hit. Damage, please.
That's like a 21. Oh, you used that? Yeah. Damage is... I have not hit
A
with this thing.
D8 plus your con, or plus your deck, sorry.
Oh, yeah. It's like I haven't hit with this thing in a long time.
Better than short sword.
1 plus con, which is a
No,
negative.
no, 1 plus deck.
Oh, okay. 3.
3. It does not seem to do the damage you would expect it to. As you literally just knock up a chunk of ice and it falls to the ground outside of the creature. Ulrich.
All first, all second win.
Okay, roll a D10.
I forgot to add my second.
9 plus
5.
5.
So 14?
14.
If I get enough time.
That's your bonus action. What else are you doing?
Instead of punching him, I'm just trying to keep hitting him and slap the fucking, like, just.
Roll a hit.
Just knocking him out.
You got advantage.
16 plus 7.
16 is a hit. Damage.
9 damage.
Okay.
Does the second slap have advantage?
Yes.
I'm flanking.
16 plus 7.
That's a hit.
I'm
Damage.
not flanking.
No. Because Sheer currently has a pistol.
9 damage.
9 damage?
Same roll.
My damage.
Third attack.
Okay.
Third attack.
Cheer.
No,
No,
I-
he's second one.
Second one.
Cheer. What are you gonna do? This thing is now adjacent to you.
I'm just like stuffing pieces of ice out at this point.
Wait.
You can. You will provoke. You want to take the attack of
This might
opportunity?
probably be pretty cool right now.
Okay. So, no. What?
She has shoot with disadvantage.
So you're gonna shoot with disadvantage. Go ahead.
22.
22 is a hit. Damage, please.
20.
12 damage.
12 damage. Second attack.
What does your attacks look like?
One. Oh, Queen of Diamonds. Let's see what happens. Suddenly, your weapon no longer has its lightning attached to it, so you regain those hit points. Your maximum hit points goes up. You cannot use any abilities until you pass a Wisdom saving throw, starting at the end of your next turn. One eye.
Constitution save.
Get in the fight.
Natural 20.
There we go.
Suddenly, your vision clears, and you can see what's happening before you. As you see, blood is coming out of Gunner's chest, as well as Ulrich's body, as shards of ice are being whipped around these guys. Fiona.
Does create or destroy water to assault the ice directly?
No. Can't be used on creatures.
I don't have exactly as much to heal on. Guess I'll find a stone to throw at it. Cast magic stone.
Okay. That's a bonus action.
Aye.
Oh, remember, we said you filled up your sack with stones before you left,
Yeah.
so
I'll aim directly for the eyes.
roll a hit.
That should be a 21.
That is a hit. Damage, please.
5 points of damage.
You throw that stone, and it hits a shard of ice, and the shard of ice gets ejected out of its body, along with your stone, the opposite direction.
Yeah.
You know, that whole equal and opposite reaction thing. Any other actions, Fiona? You have a move?
I'm fine right there.
Okay. It is Dakin's turn, and Dakin, I gotta keep him out of the fray, because it's not my character to put in harm's way. Alrighty.
But we all know
You
how
still
he
throw
would
magic.
It is now this thing's turn, and this thing, you are a much squishier target, so it is going to continue its assault, and it's either going to be you or you. So, evens and odds. Evens it is. And let's see, does it recharge? It does recharge. Ulrich. That is a natural 17, so that's definitely going to be a hit. Ulrich, that is 14 points of cold damage and 7 points of necrotic damage, so 21 damage. Caliph, that is a 7 plus 7 is 14.
That's a hit.
Caliph, that is 13 points of cold damage. I'm sorry, 13 points of cold damage and 8 points of necrotic damage.
I fall back down.
I need you to roll me a d8. 1 is where you're facing.
2.
So you happen to fall not in the water. You fall on the beach in front of you.
That's useful.
Gunner,
Take 2 cuts at it.
roll the hit.
Miss.
Second attack.
14.
14 is a match.
Aha! 10 damage.
10 damage. Alrighty. It's same thing. It seems like your blade is finding resistance where it shouldn't.
Okay.
Any other actions, Gunner?
I'm out.
Caliph, I need a death saving throw, please.
That is fair.
Ulrich.
As that one redneck dude said as he slammed a cooler full of beer on the back of his tailgate, I'm fucked up!
So are you going to continue to attack it?
Yeah, because if I move away, it's going to fucking Beyblade me again. I mean, I'm getting Beyblade if I do, Beyblade if I don't.
Okay.
I'm getting it let it ripped.
Just, this is the situation at hand. You see Caliph get ripped to pieces and fall, nearly fall in the water next to you. This thing seems to be headed towards Erroll's direction.
One thing I could do to try to stop it is just keep fucking hitting me.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, what am I gonna do?
Go ahead. I'm just
Still flanking.
First punch, 19.
you are still flanking.
Advantage, so non-natural 20.
Damage?
9.
Okay.
Second slap. 17 plus 7.
Damage?
8. Final mallywhap. 16.
16's a hit. Damage?
10.
Okay. Cheer, what are you doing?
You said I have to do a savings throw.
At the end of your turn.
Yeah, physical people, I'll be beating the shit out of them.
I guess I can shoot at it. Just
Okay.
not to.
Roll with advantage or disadvantage. And you will have to reload this round after these 2 shots.
No, I only did one shot last turn. Because it did the.
This far.
Oh, that's correct. Well, no, the round's still expended, though.
I know, but it went from 4 to 3. So
No, 2. The round's still expended when it misfires.
11.
it's an 11.
11 is a miss.
This far.
That is the Queen of Hearts. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm going to reload.
This nearly leads to your death as you are just wildly trying to fire, and right as you go to do so, a shard of ice very nearly takes your eye out. This terrifies you. You are frightened of this creature. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw to negate the...
Is it against magic?
No, this isn't magic. This is literally just, you made such a colossal mistake.
Let's just ask. That is a 15.
So you can still not use your blood now elixir.
Okay, then I will reload.
Okay, and you will have to move directly away from this creature right now.
I will.
Roll a athletics check, please.
Not acrobatics.
Nope, you are literally trying to climb up the mountain, the wall away from it.
That is an 8.
8 is good enough. This is only a 5 DC
I
wall.
was gonna say, don't you need
So-
to get
The thing is, you're still in its threat range by the time you end, so you haven't provoked yet. When you continue to move next turn, or unless it moves out of your threat range, you will provoke that. One eye.
Is there space to get next to the?
There is. You can move in right there. You can stand up and move there. You have another 5 feet of movement, and you still have a move and a bonus, or a standard and a bonus action.
They can use the
Okay. So flanking's not possible.
Currently, no, because Ulrich is flanking with one eye, or with Gunner. Excuse me.
So that's a 16.
16 is a hit.
What? 15.
15 still a hit.
So that is 2, 6, 12, 14 damage.
14 damage. Bonus action attack.
Yep. Miss.
Okay.
Well, if one had to hit, I'm glad it was the magic
Yeah.
knife.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna make my way over to Cal.
Okay. So how are you gonna get to him? You can try to move around this way, but then you have to enter the water. Or you can move around this way, but that's gonna put you in the threat range of the creature.
Well, I was gonna be in the throw range of the creature most likely anyway, so.
Oh no, not if you come to this side. Not if you literally come out to the water to this
I
side.
don't be in that water.
Okay, so you're gonna go. So 30 feet gets you right there.
Okay, I'll use the. That's what's it called? 12.
So you are awake and up.
up on the ground.
Yes.
That's exactly where I was at
And
before
I
the count.
cannot spend any more of his resources. He's already spent a lot this turn. So we'll have him move right here, and he's going to try to swing at it with his mace. Hey, that's a hit. There's a d6 plus 2. Alrighty. It is now this thing's turn. Let's see if this thing recharges. It does not. For the first time in this fight, it hasn't recharged that. So, this thing is going to, it's continuing with its battering of you, and as you are the closest target, it is attacking you as well. For attack on you, that is a natural 19, so 26 to hit.
I'm down.
That is 9 plus 4 is 13 damage. So you're down?
Yep.
And Caliph, that is a 15 to hit.
Yep.
That is 19 points of damage. So you
down
are
again.
unconscious again. So you are both unconscious at this point. I need. You were still on the ground, so you're safe where you were. I need a D8 from you. The number 1 is where you're facing.
6.
6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So literally straight back into the water. You guys see Ulrich fall into the water and disappear. And Gunnar, it is your turn.
Move to flank with one eye and take 2 cuts.
Okay.
23.
23 is a hit. Damage, please.
6 damage.
Next attack.
Second cut. 21.
21's a hit. Damage.
10 damage.
10 damage. There is very little ice and water left in this creature. Caliph, I need a death saving throw. That doesn't pass. Okay. Ulrich, you are currently drowning. Cherry. Oh, yeah, you have to try to move away from this creature to get it out of line of sight, which is going to provoke an attack of opportunity from it. That is a 15 to hit. It right behind you can feel the cold, but you managed to scramble away. You are going to continue 5, 10, 15. At that point, it's out of visual range.
I can't go and get Ulrich, right?
You are terrified of this thing. Not just frightened, you are terrified.
So I can't even shoot at it then.
No, it literally, you don't even want to see it. You're getting it to where you cannot see it. Any other actions from you? One eye.
Do I do this saving throw?
Yes, both saving throws. First the wisdom saving throw, and then wisdom saving throw against the fear.
So,
That's 17.
So you can use your magical abilities. Go and roll another. Let's see. Yes, another wisdom saving throw.
Come on. 14.
That's
11. So yeah, you were still frightened of this thing, or terrified of this thing. One eye.
so he fell into the water.
Yes.
He's fallen over.
You've got advantage right now.
But he is drowning.
I yell, well, who's up?
Dakin, you, him, and Fionn.
I'll yell, someone get Ulrich. And I'll try and stab.
You gonna try to stab it? Roll to hit.
I'm flanking if that helps.
Uh, 14.
14 is a match. Damage, please.
So 2, 6, 12.
12 damage. The cyclone of water and ice suddenly stops spraying water everywhere as ice shards fall to the ground.
Okay, I will use my
No.
movement to jump in the water.
Okay. So you are in the water. All right.
And my cunning action.
I need a Constitution saving throw real quick.
That would be a 11.
Gonna roll with advantage because technically this is something that you would have advantage to. So just roll one more die.
Nope.
So 11?
Yeah.
As soon as you hit the water, you feel 100 different emotions hit you all at once.
Uh-huh.
It's distracting, but you're able to at least search for him. The water is pitch dark.
Okay, I'll use my cunning action for that.
Okay. So you are literally swimming down. All right. Dakin is going to turn to you and spare the dying. So you are stabilized. Yes, you are no longer dying. Gunner.
Jump in after Ulrich.
Okay. I need a Constitution saving throw from you, please. Total?
6.
6. As soon as you jump into the water, you feel 100 different emotions happening
Can
all
I
at
use a
once.
blue chip to reroll that?
You can use like so. That's your blue
I do
chip.
have my blue chip.
You do have
I
your
gotta
blue
save
chip. Okay.
Jeez. So 16?
16. You feel all of these emotions well up, but you're able to. No. Ulrich's dying. He's dying. Okay. With your standard action, go ahead and roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
15 and 15.
As,
So 19 total.
As you get to the bottom, you begin to feel around, and suddenly you feel a shift. Realize you're touching metal. Grab a hold. I mean, this is pitch dark. You are blind for all intents and purposes. Just grab them and begin to go up. The water is 15 feet deep.
Yeah.
So just as you're coming up, you won't be able to crest the water this turn.
Yeah.
But on your next turn, you'll be able to crest the water, which means, Ulrich, I need a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
Pass.
22.
Okay.
Good thing he's got a hell of a con.
And we'll come back around to One Eye. You are effectively blind in this water. And while you're swimming down, you're feeling the walls around you. There's an outcropping of rock in front of you. You can feel movement in the water next to you, but you're not entirely sure what it is because you can't see anything. What are you going to do?
I'm going to search towards movement.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
They just skip over me in that lineup.
I'm just dealing with people in the water real quick.
I'm gonna move to, get ready to heal him since he's gonna be when he comes
I
out.
assumed.
Okay, so that is going to be a 21.
So as you get down in the water and you begin feeling around, you feel something metal hit your hand as you reach out as it's going up.
Okay, I'm going to use my movement to try to swim up.
Okay. With how close the wall is, I'm not requiring swim checks because you guys can literally grab a hold of the wall to pull yourselves up. Gunner, you will crest the water with an unconscious and not breathing Ulrich.
Drag him out and yell for Fionn and Dakin.
Okay. Fionn, as Dakin is not here, what are you going to do as you see, for all intents and purposes, a lifeless Ulrich being pulled up onto the shore?
I think I'll start with Cure Wounds.
Cure wounds?
Try stabilizing him and getting the water out of his lungs.
Go ahead and roll me. How are you trying to get the water out of his lungs? With that? Okay. Go ahead and roll me a straight wisdom check.
At that point, I might as well use medicine. Yeah, that'll be better.
I'll give you medicine with this.
Well, it's its job. Let's see, that is 16.
16?
I know.
So I was giving you just a wisdom check at a lower DC, medicine at a higher DC of a DC of 15. You see Ulrich's mouth open and globules of water be pulled out of his throat. As soon as the last one comes out, he begins to cough and sputter. And that is where we're going to go and call it tonight, because we are pushing it right towards midnight. Guys, I want to thank you so much for sticking with us. I know tonight was a long game session, but I didn't want to end in the middle of a fight like this, and there are still harrowing things to come. So let's see what happens to the Defiant Few. Once again, I want to thank our sponsors, David's Towels and Terrain. I hope you guys have enjoyed what you've gotten to see, and there's still more to come. I would like to thank Game Vault, Lindy and Corey, we love you guys. Jeremiah at MGS, my game store, we love you too. Thank you so much for helping us get started on the stream. I want to thank all the people who've been watching us tonight, all of you that are going to subscribe, all of you that watch us on YouTube. We love all of you guys, and we thank you guys so much. We hope you guys are enjoying the game as much as we are. Everyone looks like they're a little shell-shocked tonight, but hey, you know, every once in a while, you gotta take some lumps. You gotta have some bad days to realize just how good you have it, right? I want to thank you all again so much for joining us. From our dudes to you dudes, keep rolling dice. Good night.